Hi everybody, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface on the PTR for patch 6.2. Now I've already done a video on how to construct your shipyard. I'll annotate it here on the screen in case any of you have missed it. In this video I'm going to show you exactly how the command table works for this area. Now you'll probably gather it's got a very similar feel to the current Garrison Command table which we have at the moment, and judging by the fact that there are 4 or 5 different types of vessel to actually get your hands on, the way seemingly at the moment, because this is the beta and PTR and stuff and things are subject to change, you currently get additional blueprints by completing either missions or quests, which we'll see a little bit later on. So very much like the command table, you drag a ship into the hole, you use the resource, which is actually oil, as opposed to garrison resources for the shipyard, and then your vessel gets sent on the way. What do you do in the meantime? Well, whatever you want to do, because you do not have any direct contact with the ship. You do not sail on it, you do not pass any orders on it, you simply passively step back as the commander. Once it's been completed, you can either see whether or not you've been successful in the mission or whether or not you've been unsuccessful, but if you have, voila, you get yourself a blueprint for the destroyer, another ship. So you can click that, learn it, and then go off to your shipwright, and they will actually tell you whether or not you can make it. There you go. Yes, I can make a destroyer, start the work order, and off we go. Currently on the PTR, it only takes roughly 60 seconds for the ships to be built. I doubt that that's going to be the length of time on the live servers, but you never know. But once it has been constructed, all you need to do is go to it, right click onto it, and it will put your ship into your fleet. Very much like the completion of a building in your garrison, you get a small cutscene of the vessel you've done wandering off into the sunset. Whether or not we'll see it again remains to be seen. Your next training mission is to get a blueprint for a piece of equipment. Equipment are items that you can physically attach to your ship to give them additional perks when they go out for missions. Now Hordes, I don't want you guys and girls to feel left out, so let me just jump over now to your shipyard, and this is the exact same mission, but this time we've got 2 enemy vessels and I've only got 1 vessel. So I've got a 54% chance of completing this mission. Look at the top, dangerous missions. If you fail a mission with your shipyard, you have a 50% chance for that ship to be destroyed. If it's destroyed, you have to construct a new one. And yes, that mission failed and that vessel was destroyed. I have to go back to the shipwright and build afresh. But like the Alliance one, which was 100%, once you learn the blueprint, there is actually a vendor which has all the different types of equipment which you can place onto your vessels. All you have to do is get the blueprints, and again, currently, the only way to get these blueprints is by completing those shipyard missions with the command table. Now, Hordes, I feel a little bit guilty about using your vessel as the sacrificial lamb earlier, so let's return to your shipyard now and use your command table to show off the Naval Operations Map and how this actually works. Now, we've already seen these small training missions, these yellow ones that you just drag your ship in, boom, send them on their way. These are the ones which have allowed us to get the additional blueprints to make more vessels, and also to allow us to get the equipment which we can attach to said vessels as well. But you'll also notice a large proportion of the map is very foggy. You can see that there are missions there, but they have this sort of haze and fog covering them up. If I was to scroll over them, you can still see what rewards they offer. 1,300 experience points, 950 experience points, 2,000 Apexis crystals. It doesn't matter where they are on the map, they'll all tell you what bounty that they offer. But if I try and click onto one, I can't access it. You'll also notice these 3 Horde Banners that are scattered around the place. Alliance, if this was your Naval Operations Map, they would be Alliance banners instead. And you'll notice that when you scroll over a certain mission, one of those banners starts to flash. What that means is the mission that you're trying to access is protected by a blockade. You'll notice the same one flashes if I scroll over this mission in the top, and also the mission right next to it, which gives an epic crate as a reward. To get through to those missions, to be able to access those missions, you must be able to defeat the blockade. You click onto the banner and it will open up the blockade mission. Just like before, drag your ships into place and then send them on their way. And if you are successful, then it will actually open up the area that these missions are on and the fog will dissipate. And that is how you open up further areas of the map. So again, if I jump back to the Alliance Shipyard, you'll notice here in the bottom left-hand corner, I have defeated the blockade and I've opened up 4 further missions for me to have a crack at. But I'm going to kill 2 birds with 1 stone here. Not only have I defeated the blockade, but I'm a little bit wary about continuing. If I was to drag my ships, you see, into the slots to try and get this waterlogged manifest as a reward, which starts another quest, I've only got a 57% chance of doing it. And with the dangerous missions aspect, destroying ships, potentially destroying ships, if I was to fail the mission, I don't really want to have a crack at it. I want to make sure I've got probably better vessels. So this is where our next vessel comes into play, and it's by completing quite a large and substantial quest line, upgrading the fleet. To get the blueprint for the submarine, you first of all got to hand over 1,000 gold. You've also got to have 1,000 garrison resources available, and finally complete 25 training missions on the command table. The training missions being these small yellow ones, which you can send ships on their way. So if I was to click onto that, I could drag that there, and they'll be back in 30 minutes, and that would be 1 out of 25 completed. Now, if you wanted to complete this in 1 sitting, sending out 2 missions away at a time at half-hour apiece, it's going to take you about 12.5 hours or so. So in good honoured tradition, here's one I made earlier. I've got the garrison resources, I've got the gold, and I've completed the 25 naval missions. Boom, I now have the blueprint for my submarine. Completing this unlocks the next mission to get the next vessel, which is the carrier. And this time you need 2,500 garrison resources, 2,500 gold, and also to have completed 50 naval training missions. So you can absolutely see this is going to be a time sink if you want to add additional ships to your fleet. So with a couple of submarines created and added to my fleet, you'll notice that the vessels are actually colour coordinated by the symbol in the bottom left hand corner. And yes, they are very familiar: green, blue and purple. That relates to the rarity of the ship. The green's uncommon, the blue is rare, and the purple is epic. So how does that actually translate when it comes to sending your vessels out on missions? Well, the green ones, the uncommon ones, have both of their equipment slots locked away. And you'll notice also that they too are colour-coded, blue and purple. Yes, I can already hear the more intelligent people working this one out. If I was to go to a rare vessel, it's unlocked the blue equipment slot, as well as having the type of ship it is, which adds that perk as well. And then the epic one unlocks the final equipment slot. So you can have 3 different types of perk on your vessel if you have it all the way up to epic. And trust me, that comes in handy, especially when you want to bash through blockades, when you need lots of perks. In this case, 9 matching perks to complete it. If I was to drag these vessels over here, for instance, you'll notice I only actually take care of 2 of the required 9 perks. So if I wanted to get through this blockade without losing my ships, due to that ship safety aspect, that you do have a chance that ships will be destroyed if the mission is failed, then you've really got to have 3 ships at epic value that are going to be able to compensate for all of those perks mentioned at the top. So this is where we kind of get onto the theological aspects of this shipyard. How are people going to respond to the fact that you can actually have ships destroyed? And if ships are destroyed, especially if they're epic versions, you have to go back to the shipwright and create another one. Creating another ship doesn't guarantee it's going to be epic. It's most likely going to be a green, an uncommon one, which means leveling up the vessel again, adding more equipment because you'll lose the equipment that was attached to that vessel as well, getting it up to epic status and sending it out on further missions. Whether people are going to take that to heart or not, I really much doubt. I think a lot of people are already going to see the shipyard as something very similar and possibly way too similar to the Garrison Command table already, which could have burnt them out from that aspect. So to have something similar that you can actually start to lose vessels. Just imagine if followers were killed off on follower missions and you had to go out and recruit more followers. I can see a lot of people being very frustrated by that. So let me know what you guys and girls think in the comments down below. How does the shipyard look as if it's shaping up? Ship shape? Okay, shit jokes aside. How does it look like it's shaping up to you? Do you think it's going to be fun? Do you think it's going to just be Command Table 2.0 and interest will be lost very quickly indeed? Or do you think it's something that you could legitimately sink your time and effort? Okay, I will stop with the shit puns, I promise. But do you think it's something you could legitimately sink your time and effort into? I'd love to hear what you have to say. So I hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel. Follow me on social media as well as Twitch for live streaming. Those links are in the description down below. And I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care, everybody. Bye-bye.